Knight f3, c5, c4, Knight f6, Knight c3, d5, c takes d5, Knight takes d5, e3, e6, d4, Knight c6, Bishop d3, Bishop e7, a3, c takes d4, e takes d4, castle kingside, castle kingside, b6, Queen c2, Knight f6, Rook d1, h6, Bishop e4, Knight takes e4, Queen takes e4, Queen e8, Rook e1, Bishop d7, d5, e takes d5, Knight takes d5, Bishop d6, Queen h4, Queen d8, Queen h5, Bishop e6, Rook d1, Bishop takes d5, Queen takes d5, Bishop c5, b4, Queen takes d5, Rook takes d5, Rook a d8, Rook takes d8, Rook takes d8, Bishop f4, Bishop d4, Knight takes d4, Knight takes d4, King f1, g5, Bishop c7, Rook e8, g4, Knight c2, Rook a2, Rook e1 check, King g2, Rook e2, King g3, b5, Bishop b8, a6, Bishop a7, King h7, Bishop e3, King g6, Rook e2, Rook takes e3 check, F takes e3, Knight takes e3, h3, h5, King f3, Knight c4, Rook a2, H takes g4 check, H takes g4, f5, G takes f5 check, King takes f5, a4, King e5, A takes b5, A takes b5, Rook g2, King f5, Rook e2, g4 check, King g3, Knight e5, Rook d2, King e4, Rook d6. Knight d3. Rook b6. Knight takes b4. Rook takes b5. Knight d5. King takes g4. Knight e3 check. King g5. Knight d5. Rook b8. King e5. Rook d8. King e4. Rook e8 check. King d4. King f5. Knight e3 check. King f4. Knight d5 check. King f3. Knight c3. Rook d8 check. Knight d5. Rook d7. King e5. Rook h7. King d4. Rook h5. Knight c3. Rook h8. Knight d5. Rook d8. King e5. King e2. King e4. Rook e8 check. King d4. King f3. Knight c3. Rook e1. Knight d5. Rook d1 check. King e5. Rook d2. Knight f4. Rook a2. Knight d5. Rook a4. Knight c3. Rook c4. Knight d5. Rook e4 check. King d6. Rook h4. King e5. King e2. Knight f4 check. King d2. Knight d5. Rook a4. Knight f4. King e3. Knight d5 check. King f3. Knight f6. Rook a5 check. Knight d5. Rook b5. King d4. Rook b8. King e5. Rook e8 check. King d4. Rook d8. King e5. Rook takes d5 check. King takes d5.